We started looking paper records, basically, employment records, income tax, bank records.
There were no hits on Mitch Kemp. There was no use out of any banking accounts, hadn't filed taxes, and that's when they knew that, okay, he really is more than a missing person. Something has probably happened.
While looking into Tausha's background, investigators made several interesting discoveries. The first one came when Mitch Kemp's mother revealed that despite what Tausha had told Mitch and his family, Tausha's parents were very much alive. Mitch's mother had even spoken to Tausha's father before Mitch and Tausha married.
My mom called Mitch and said, Mitch, you know, we need to talk. You've heard a bunch of stories. Her family wasn't killed in a car wreck. They're alive. They don't want anything to do with Tausha. They say she's nothing but trouble.
However, Mitch had not seemed bothered by the information.
Mitch, I guess, was blinded by love at that time and took no heed to what Mom told him. He just wouldn't hear. It was like, Mom, I don't care.
Investigators also discovered that by the time she had met Mitch Kemp at age 26, Tausha had already been married and divorced twice. That meant she had had 4 marriages under her belt before the age of 30. The number of men she had lived with was even higher, although an exact number proved difficult to pin down.
It just seems that she was able to go from man to man to man. It was just one after another in a domino effect.
One thing investigators didn't find was a record of Tausha's divorce from Mitch.
While she was married to Greg, it looks like she was still married to Mitch Kemp.
The detectives then tried to piece together Tausha's movements since leaving Missouri. Tausha and Greg had moved to Alabama after selling their farm in February of 2005.
They head out of town, end up down in Gulf Shores.
And that's where they bought a home. They bought all these luxury cars, boats, and Sea-Doos, and lived pretty well.
Greg got a tattoo with Tausha's name on his back. Tausha got breast implants, and all was going well.
Although between the new house, boat, and breast implants, the couple soon blew through the nearly $300,000 they made off the farm.
It wasn't very long before the money that they left Missouri with was gone.
So in the fall of 2005, Greg went to Mississippi looking for cleanup work in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. In his absence, Tausha had hooked up with a new man.
And while he was gone doing Katrina cleanup, she was blowing his money. He came home, found another man laying in his bed, and he's broke.
Greg filed for divorce, although within months of it being finalized, Tausha had moved on again to Dwayne Barentine. And as with Mitch and Greg, she told Dwayne his predecessor had abused her.
She said he was trying to jump on her, and, you know, they had several physical altercations, and that's why she was moving from one house to the other, and I let her move in.
Dwayne had met this alleged abuser when he was helping Tausha move her belongings out of her ex's house. Unlike Mitch and Greg, the two men didn't fight, they talked.
He pulled up. He asked me where Tausha was. I said, she's not here. That was the end of that whole encounter.
Months later, they had run into each other, and Tausha's ex had told Dwayne the story that had brought the Missouri detectives to Florida.
Tausha told him about how her ex had raped her and that Greg had shot him.
Determined to learn the truth, the Missouri authorities tracked Tausha to Alabama, where she had taken up with a new boyfriend just days after Dwayne threw her out.
She's always looking to move on to the next man, next trapeze bar, so to speak.
On May 20th, the detectives drove to the small town of Dothan, Alabama. That afternoon, they brought Tausha into a police interrogation room and asked her about Mitch's disappearance.
Something happened to Mitch, okay? And I think it would be in your best interest to tell the truth about what happened to Mitch.
What do you mean something happened to him?
Well, you tell me what happened.
I haven't had any contact with him. Period. None.
Initially, Tausha denied knowing where Mitchell Kemp was.
Although when pressed by the detectives, Tausha didn't rule out the possibility that Greg had done something to his predecessor. Tausha told detectives it wouldn't have been the first time Greg got violent with Mitch.
They had words on the phone. And then they got in a fist fight one time.
Frustrated by Tausha's stonewalling, the investigators dropped a few hints of their own. Hints concerning Tausha's future and the future of her father.